This week on Dirt Every Day, we're putting the biggest off-road tires you can get on this old Ford and taking it to the home of America's toughest rocks. And we're going to do it all in 3 days. This is Crewford. Crewford is a '93 Ford F350 that I bought off of a government surplus auction site online. I was going to build it into a magazine project truck. I did a few upgrades to it. I put 37-inch tires on without any lift, so we just kind of trimmed the bumpers. I took it to Schaefer's off-road. We put 410 gears and Detroit lockers in the rear, and that was kind of it. I just built this big, cool truck that I could take off-road, but after a while, I was just kind of over it. I didn't really have anything else I wanted to do to it, and I put it up for sale. And nobody would buy it. Part of the problem is it's a crew cab long bed 1-ton truck, but it only has a small block Ford engine under the hood. I was trying to figure out how I'm gonna sell the thing when Dirthead Dave saw it and he was like, you gotta keep that truck. That truck is so cool. I thought about what he said and I was like, you know what? Maybe we can build this thing. Maybe we can do something cool with it. So I called him, I told him, come on up, we're gonna build the Ford, but I got one condition. It's gonna be a monster truck.
Huge tires.
These are Mickey Thompson Baja Claw TTCs. 54-inch tall tires. These are like the tallest off-road tires you can get, and we're gonna put them on this truck in 3 days.
2.5 days.
2.5 days.
Piece of cake. We're mounting the tires on these, I think they're 20 by 10s or 12s wheels. We're just putting them on by hand. This one is kind of being a bear.
Come on, Dave. What are you doing?
Give it some weight over here. Oh, there we go.
This is what we're gonna do to the Ford. We got these 54-inch tires, so somehow we have to fit these tires onto the truck. We're probably gonna need a suspension of some sort. In addition to that, this tire is very big. The truck only has a small block, so it's gonna need more gearing. The truck only has 410 gears in the axles now, so we're gonna add a 203 to 205 doubler, something from Off-Road Design. They make this product so that you can put a lower low range in the truck. And then finally, steering. Steering is gonna be an issue turning that big of a tire. We're gonna convert the whole truck to a PSC full hydraulic steering system. This should allow us to steer the truck, have enough gearing to turn the tires, and have enough suspension to clear the tires. Most of the time when you run a 54-inch tire, you wanna upgrade axles. You wanna go to like a 2.5-ton axle. We don't have time to do that, and hopefully the 1-ton axles will be strong enough for what we're gonna do with the truck. Maybe down the road, we'll upgrade to bigger, beefier axles, but for now, 1-tons, 54s, hydro steering, lower gearing, more suspension. That's about it. That's all we can do in 2.5 days. How's the tires coming, Dave?
They're working.
All right, this is the transfer case. I think all the bolts are out. Okay, here goes nothing. Ow. That thing doesn't want to come off.
Let's see some action. Whoa. You're gonna break the output shaft of the transmission somehow.
Suck it, transfer case. All right, this is the Borg Warner transfer case that we took out of the Ford. This area up here is the reduction box. Inside here is a giant chain. The transmission attaches here and turns this, which then turns the output shaft. When you engage four-wheel drive, it turns the front, which runs to your front axle. So this is what makes a vehicle four-wheel drive. This is not a bad transfer case. It's actually pretty good. However, it probably only has about a 272 to 1 low range. What we're gonna replace it with is this 203 to 205 doubler. This has the reduction box of a 203 transfer case, an adapter plate from Off-Road Design, and then the venerable 205. This is one of the strongest transfer cases. This thing's been around for ages. It's gonna have a 2 to 1 low range here, another 2 to 1 low range here, which will give us a 4 to 1 low range, which is almost double what it has now. You need all that low range gearing to turn those giant tires because we don't have very low axle gears. Basically, we're gonna put this in, get all of our low range in this, keep our 410s, which are really strong, And we may have to get new drive shafts made to run from this transfer case to the current axles. A Dana 60 up front and a Sterling 10.5 in the rear. 10.5?
10, yes, I think.
10 3/4.
10 and
10.275. 10 and a third.
Is it?
Don't worry about it. Do you think you can roll it in here without it falling off?
Oh boy.
Probably when it all goes sideways. Oh boy.
Holy cow. Up about 3/4 of an inch.
A 54-inch tire has a radius of 27 inches, which is half of 54. This would be the very center of the 54-inch tire. So if you look at this, that tire at ride height needs at least
Cool.
like an inch cut right here and about 3 inches cut out there and out there. We have a line. Dave laid out a perfect arc here. I'm gonna just come in here with the plasma torch. I'm gonna cut it as close to that as I possibly can, and then probably have to come in and clean it up a little bit with a grinder. Monster truck! Monster truck! Looks gorgeous. All right, we have new Skyjacker 6-inch front lift springs on, all brand new U-bolts. We're gonna put the shocks on, and this will give us enough lift on the front end that hopefully we won't have to cut into the firewall and the tires won't be crashing into everything.
They look way bigger on the front than the back. That turns more than I thought.
So the issue we're running into is right here. Tire's gonna hit right there, if it turns at all, and it barely turns. And up front, there's a bracket that hangs off the side of the frame here with a tow hook on it. It's really handy, but that's gonna have to move because that hits right there too. At the end of day one, we have a day and a half left, or approximately. The front suspension's in, the rear tires are on, everything is cut. Well, I only need to trim some more on the front so the tires can steer. We started taking apart the old steering. We're gonna put the full Hydrus kit on.
Put a transfer case in it?
We got like a 700-pound transfer case in there, approximately. We're gonna get the drive shaft ordered first thing in the morning, get them built really quick by JE Reel and overnighted so they're back here by Friday morning, but we're right on schedule.
We're kicking butt. We're a little ahead of schedule.
Approximately.
But we'll probably fail at something tomorrow.
Yeah, something tomorrow.
We'll go backwards.
We'll be plasma cutting the car, burn up to the ground, and be done. Yay!
That's a wrap.
It didn't finish itself.
It's still big.
We're gonna start diving into this. Dave's gonna trim the firewall. We're gonna remove these tow hooks off the front. We also have to address all the steering. We have a full hydro kit that I wanna install because it'll make it steer a lot better than the factory stuff, which was already pretty tired. So we gotta pull the pump off, put all the new pump and ram and all that stuff on, and try and make room for these giant 54s. It's kind of silly that we have to stand on a step ladder just to work on the power steering pump on this car. Oh yeah, gobs are. truck is like a CrossFit gym. Flip tires, swing hammer. Get it!
So even after beating on it with a sledgehammer, I still needed to cut some more, so I'll sand it up and we'll call this done. What we have here is a Ford dually hub. It's basically like a big wheel spacer that's built into the hub that we're putting the dually hub on because it's basically a safer way to space the wheel out.
All right, Dave, bring it on in here. Lift.
Touching the ground.
Oh, this thing's gonna turn like a dream.
Look at that! We almost get lock.
Dude, we'll be able to back the boat up at the lake with this thing, no problem.
That's all right.
Yeah. I think I hurt my knee. We're this close to being finished. We're that far from being finished. The list is getting longer. Okay, that's it. I'll see you next time, or tomorrow morning. Bye.
Morning, Fred. I got your coffee.
Thanks, Dave. All right, final day of the build. If we don't get this thing done today, we're never gonna make it out off-roading. What do we have left to do, Dave?
We got to do the drive shafts. We got to
All
do
right,
the
we're gonna
steering,
have all
we
that
gotta
stuff
do the
done by
shifter, we gotta
lunchtime.
do the
We will be out of
bolt on
here
the
doing
ram.
burnouts or probably
Piece of cake.
breaking axle shafts. We're definitely not doing burnouts. What's up, little dog?
Still runs. Not for sale.
JE Reel got us 3 new drive shafts overnight. We actually need 3 drive shafts because the rear drive shaft is a 2-piece drive shaft. This part will attach to the 205. Then there's a carrier bearing that attaches to the frame right here, and then another drive shaft runs down to the rear end. These guys, we set them measurements. They built them, overnighted them. It wasn't inexpensive, but they're gonna fit perfect. Look at that, perfect. How you doing? All right, Dave. I think this is the moment of truth.
There's no turning back now.
We're gonna see if it'll actually move under its own power.
It's got brakes.
Ready? Put it in drive. Put it in reverse. Ah, it's perfect. I'm assuming when you were in drive, I was in reverse.
Yeah, you were backwards on that one.
So we gotta hook up the shifters, button up a few little things. First thing tomorrow, we take it for a test drive. It works, Dave, but we're all out of coffee. So we're gonna take it on our first test drive to town. Hopefully we don't run anything over. And then we're gonna go to the desert and go four-wheeling. Look at this thing's choice. It's like a limousine. Check engine lights on. I think we might have disconnected one of those wires.
Where we're going, we don't need check engine lights.
You think monster truck guys are gonna be insulted that we're calling this a monster truck?
Yeah, what do you call it? It's not a miniature truck.
To all you Gravedigger and Bigfoot fans, we know this is not a real monster truck.
It's just a big truck with
It doesn't
big
have.
tires.
But to all you little kids that see us driving around town, yes, this is a monster truck. Yeah.
So what do you think, Fred?
Well, we built a monster truck in 3 days. It drives like a tractor because it's got full hydro steering, and I'm pretty sure the tires aren't balanced. But other than that, it's perfect. Hold this.
Let's get out of here.
Jeez, I can barely get in this thing. All these signs everywhere. It's like,
Construction zone.
whoa. What was that?
I don't know.
All right, let's get out of here.
This place is dead anyways.
I know. So much nicer out in the desert. Dude,
Finally made it. 17 hours on the road.
Johnson Valley. I love this place. This is like the baddest rock crawling in America.
Good thing we brought our mud truck.
Good thing we brought a giant rock crawling Ford crew cab long bed with no winch. Woohoo! Toughest rock crawling trails in America right here. And that's why I don't think we should start on the rocks. We're gonna go play in the sand. These Baja claws are designed for Baja. There's lots of sand in Baja. Plus, we really don't want to get in the rocks just yet because we just got here, and the last thing we want to do is break our brand new monster truck on the very first obstacle. So we'll go break it in the sand.
That way we don't even make it to the rocks.
All right, let's go play. Come on!
Jeez.
Come on, Monster Ford! Climb!
Jeez, that's weird. It porpoises like a dolphin.
It's more like a blue whale.
There you go.
Woo! I think we jumped it. Did we jump it?
We didn't jump it.
No, I think we aired it out. I think we had like 4.5 to 12 feet underneath the front tires. Let's go eat a sandwich and celebrate our dune climbing ability with our monster truck. One of the reasons I wasn't able to sell this truck is because it's a crew cab long bed with a small block Ford. Small block Ford just doesn't really have enough power to push that much truck around. Then when you add 54-inch tires and you go play in the dunes, it definitely doesn't have enough power to push it around. We could do a little bit more gearing in the axles, beef up the transmission, and definitely get more power out of the engine. And then I think it would be perfect out in the dunes. All right, Dave, what's the name of this trail?
Turkey claw.
Why is it called that?
I don't know.
Because the claws of the turkey come out of the ground and rip your vehicle apart. Well, how's it rated on the rock crawling of Johnson Valley?
It's pretty hard.
Hey, look, Matt's behind us. Tell me about Matt.
Matt's got probably one of the coolest full-size Chevys around. It's got 4 Lincoln coilovers and 40s and tons.
Magnum box.
Dual transfer cases. This truck is built. He's wheeled with us a bunch of times and the thing proves itself. He lives close by, so he knows these trails. So we brought the wrong truck, but we brought the right support truck. Big tires do make the rocks seem small.
Yeah.
I can't see over this huge hood. It's not a terrible rock crawler.
Not yet.
Here's the good stuff. There you go. There you go. There you go.
That's so cool. This whole truck is twisting the cab and the bed and the frame and the axles. This is awesome. This is why we go rock crawling. This thing is actually working pretty good.
There you go, nice and easy. Come on, Tranny. Yeah. Little driver. Nice and easy. The truck doesn't have enough power or gearing really to climb 4 rocks at once. So it's kind of like hitting it and it's going, and that's it. No, it's boiling over. So we're stacking a little bit to make it.
It's a one rock wonder.
Yeah, it's kind of good at the articulation ramp, not good at the actual wheeling.
This is not the truck that you would probably build to come out here, but it's working amazingly well. When you have that big of a radius of a tire, it kind of rolls over stuff. The transmission or the gearing somewhere between the transmission and transfer case is a little upset. It doesn't always want to climb. Hopefully we don't burn up the transmission down in this gully and have to have Matt drag us out. So when you don't have a winch and you don't have low gearing, you better have 4 buddies that like to throw rocks.
No matter how big your tire is, right?
No matter how big, yeah. Largest off-road tire
biggest
still
rocks.
is not as big as the biggest rocks in Johnson Valley.
Woo! Good work, Fred!
Thanks, guys. We're almost out of the clutches of the turkey claw. Let's go. How's it look, Dave?
Looks really good, Fred. I was spotting the other side.
I think somebody pushed a grocery cart into my truck while we were on turkey claw.
We took this thing out. I thought we were gonna break all sorts of parts. The thing probably didn't break parts because it didn't have enough horsepower. It worked really well on the rocks though. Like if we came back with probably some chrome ollie axle shafts and lower gearing, this thing would actually work pretty well out here. All in all, man, the thing was awesome. We threw this together in 3 days, conquered a trail that I've been stuck on before in my own vehicles. To get up here in this truck and have it work, that was a success in my book.
We did conquer turkey claw. Our buddy Matt in his Chevy didn't get to pull us out, which is a victory for all Ford guys. Sorry, Matt, but thanks for coming. We ran a trail in Johnson Valley with a monster truck. We don't recommend doing this. Build yourself a really rad rock crawler, come out here. We'll see you next time on Dirt Every Day when we build a jet-powered motorboat helicopter toaster oven. If you like this episode of Dirt Every Day, you can watch the next episode live right now on MotorTrendOnDemand.com. This week on Dirt Every Day, we're pushing a dune buggy from Bend to the beach. Go! Come on, little buggy! Wait for me! Watch the latest episode of Dirt Every Day right now on MotorTrendOnDemand.com.